Hey, welcome to 12 Tone. Let's talk about rhythm. It's one of the main things that separates songs from just sound. It gives music its structure, its beat, and its shape, so the idea of playing without any tempo at all is understandably a little daunting, but we can do it. One of my favorite examples is the intro to Old Country performed by Diane Reeves. We've talked before about changing tempos, speeding up or slowing down, but in that we still had a lot of underlying structure. The pulse changed, but it was still there. This is something different. There's no real beat at all. We call it rubato or free time, and it's a little crazy, but if you do it right, you can create an incredibly expressive emotional soundscape. As a composer, rubato requires trusting your performers. You don't get to tell them when to do what. They may go faster or slower than you wanted, pausing at different spots and accentuating different pieces of your melody, and every performance is going to be different, but that's okay. That's the point. If they're good at what they're doing, they may bring out emotions and feelings in your music you didn't even know were there. It's a risk, and it's not always appropriate for every piece, but when it pays off, it's beautiful. Playing rubato, though, is far from easy. As musicians, we dedicate a lot of practice to playing in time, so the idea of purposefully losing the beat can be pretty uncomfortable, at least at first. Every musician approaches rubato a little differently, so I can't tell you too much about how to play it, but there's one piece of advice I got when I was starting out that's always stuck with me. Beginning rubato players tend to think of it as just slow. They stretch out every note and crawl through the section. But real rubato should have a give and take to it. It should breathe. You can rush through whole lines, then hang on a single note. All possible speeds are at your disposal, and you should use them all as best you can to create a deep, powerful connection. But finding the right phrasing isn't the only problem you'll encounter. With a regular tempo, the entire band is synchronized. Everyone knows when things are going to happen because they're all following the same pulse, but in rubato, how do you do that? How do you keep everyone together when they're each following their own wobbly metronome? Well, the short answer is that you probably don't. Most rubato sections only have one or two people playing. That way they can easily listen to each other and respond without having to track 5 or 6 different parts at once. Two people can play off each other organically, almost like a conversation between instruments, but if you add more voices, they tend to start talking past each other. One thing you can do with a full band, though, is drop the beat for a big dramatic pause. You all hit together, then just let the sound ring. You can have someone play a rubato line over it, or just let it hang for a while before picking back up in the original tempo. You can even string them together if you want, creating an awesome build. These are called fermatas, and they require some serious coordination, so you'll probably need a band leader, one member whose job it is to cue everyone when it's time to move on. They're kinda like a conductor, but just for the important bits. Playing without tempos isn't a new thing either. Check out this clip from L'Orfeo by Monteverdi, written in the early 17th century. This is what's called a recitative, a technique used in operas which blurs the line between song and speech. Here, a singer delivers their lyrics on specific pitches but with no particular rhythm at all. They're designed to mimic normal dialogue, so the melodies tend to be less structured and the accompaniment is sparse, often just accentuating a couple specific words. Later recitatives tended towards more accompaniment, becoming more like the rest of the opera around them, but either way, they're a great technique for adding more spoken-ish elements while still being dramatic and, well, musical. Anyway, thanks for watching. If you want to help make these videos possible, please consider supporting 12 Tone on Patreon. You can also join our mailing list for scans of all our episodes. Like, share, comment, subscribe, and keep on rockin'.